These are the items that came so close to disaster that one wrong decision could have shut everything down.
Well, you either got a steal or you got screwed.
It's not as old as this date says it is.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you tell me, but I know you're full of
Our piece here is where someone is trying to kind of mimic the Rolling Stones.
If this story were about baseball history, it would begin with a name so rare, it borders on myth. A man walked into the shop carrying a book allegedly signed by Shoeless Joe Jackson.
I have a book signed by Shoeless Joe Jackson.
To collectors, Jackson's autograph is almost sacred. He was famously illiterate, barely able to write his own name, which makes authentic signatures nearly non-existent. The signature looked shaky, uneven, imperfect. Exactly what people expect. Rick felt the pull immediately. $13,000 later, excitement turned into regret. Under magnification, the truth appeared.
So what I have here is one of the only Joe Jackson signatures that all the authenticators can agree upon. So you can see how shaky it is. With someone who's not practiced at writing, they're not going to have the same muscles to be precise in their hand.
Parts of the signature had been erased and redrawn. Someone had carefully manufactured imperfection. Rick had been fooled, and the realization hit hard. If a forged Shoeless Joe Jackson autograph could slip through, then nothing was untouchable. And if baseball had delivered the first warning, rock and roll delivered the next. A woman approached the counter with a Rolling Stones postcard, signed by all 5 original members: Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Charlie Watts, Bill Wyman, Brian Jones.
What do we have here?
I have a postcard of the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
And actually it is signed by all 5 of the original members.
That's really, really cool.
Jones's signature alone could be worth a fortune, considering he died at just 27. The seller had believed in this postcard for more than 30 years, but under professional examination, the fantasy collapsed. The ink strokes lacked natural flow. The pressure was inconsistent. The explanation was brutal but simple. During the height of their fame, band managers often signed memorabilia themselves to keep up with demand. The postcard wasn't rare history. It was mass-produced illusion. The seller walked away with a memory, not a payday. Then came Hollywood nostalgia, wrapped in red, white, and blue. A motorcycle helmet inspired by Easy Rider sat on the counter, signed, supposedly, by Peter Fonda.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Doing all right. What do we got here?
I got a replica of the Easy Rider helmet signed by Peter Fonda.
All right, yeah, Captain America.
The seller had cherished it for decades, believing it was a genuine piece of counterculture history. But signatures don't lie. When compared against verified Fonda autographs from different eras, the inconsistencies were impossible to ignore. The letter shapes were wrong. The rhythm was off. What had once symbolized freedom and rebellion was reduced to a replica with a fake autograph. Another belief shattered by evidence.
I'm seeing a lot of things that don't match up to me here, Corey.
Last words of the movie, man. We lost.
Yep.
Take care.
Thanks.
Just when it seemed the shop had seen every angle of deception, a Bible appeared, along with a story that made everyone uncomfortable. Inside was a handwritten letter allegedly from Mickey Mantle to Roger Maris, written during Mantle's rehab stay.
I'm here to tell you a Bible today.
It better be real old, man, because there's a lot of them out there.
Actually, it's got a handwritten letter on the back cover from Mickey Mantle to Roger Maris.
The tone was deeply religious, reflective, and emotional. Too emotional. Mantle's personality didn't match the voice of the letter. Handwriting analysis confirmed it was a forgery. What made the moment especially disturbing was the intent. Someone had exploited Mantle's very real struggle with alcoholism to create a fictional narrative for profit. Rick shut it down immediately. Some items aren't just fake, they're wrong.
It's so far off, it's not even funny. It's a nice Bible to hold on to and maybe read from, but other than that, it's got nothing to do with Mantle or Maris, I can guarantee you that.
Yep, thanks, Steve.
All right, guys, good to see you, man.
If music history could redeem the mood, it almost did. A single sheet of paper landed on the counter, claiming to be the original contract that sent The Who onto the Woodstock stage in 1969. Signed by legendary promoter Michael Lang, it listed a payment of just $12,500 for what would become one of the most explosive performances in rock history.
I got an original contract that the Who signed to perform in Woodstock. Greatest band of all time.
Don't you hope you die before you get old?
On paper, it felt like a time capsule, proof of how raw, unpolished, and unpredictable the music world once was. Corey was instantly hooked. As a lifelong fan of The Who, and knowing his father shared that passion, he saw more than a collectible. He saw the perfect gift. At just $200, the risk seemed minimal, and the emotional value felt priceless. But emotion doesn't authenticate history. Rick barely needed a second look. He'd seen this document before. The layout, the font, the format. It wasn't a real contract at all. It was a replica, mass-produced years later, and often included with album releases as a novelty item for fans. It had never been signed in a negotiation room. It had never sealed a deal. The realization stung, not because of the money, but because of the oversight. $200 wasn't a disaster, but the embarrassment could have been. In the pawn business, even small mistakes can echo loudly when they happen in public, and this one served as a quiet but unforgettable reminder.
One little problem, guys.
What's that?
It's not real.
What? We mean it ain't real.
They used to give these away in albums. I mean, don't you see a problem with a contract to The Who at a garage sale, like perfect condition?
It was $200. We took a shot.
Then the conversation shifted from paper to bronze. A seller confidently presented a statue he claimed was an original 1888 work by French sculptor Louis Picot. He called it Pegasus.
I don't know what to tell you about that.
This is a statue called Pegasus, and this is Perseus. Perseus was the mythological figure that killed Medusa.
Rick immediately spotted the first problem. The figure wasn't Pegasus, it was Perseus, wearing the helmet of invisibility after slaying Medusa. The surface revealed modern casting flaws. And then came the final blow, an inscription reading, Collection Française, made in USA, an American foundry, mid-20th century, not 19th century France. The seller refused to accept reality, clinging to belief even as evidence dismantled it piece by piece.
What doesn't look right is there's some pitting right here. And that crack right there is from when they casted it. It didn't happen later. If it's an original, the casting will all be right.
Well, to be honest, I don't know how to respond.
I believe this was recast probably around 40, 50 years ago, long after Picard died.
Why would they do that?
That's just, this is what I'm seeing. Right here, you have Collection Française. You see this?
Yeah.
It says Made in USA below it.
And just when the shop thought authentication couldn't get murkier, Prince entered the story. A painting allegedly created by the music icon came with no paperwork, no witnesses, and one unforgettable origin story. It had been left behind at a dry cleaner.
A painting by
Prince.
Okay, all right, I'm interested.
Prince artwork can sell for tens or even hundreds of thousands, but only with undeniable proof. The signature looked close, but experts noticed it lacked fluid motion. It appeared drawn, not signed. Without photographic evidence of Prince creating the piece, the painting existed in a gray zone, potentially valuable, possibly worthless, completely unsellable. Rick walked away.
I'm not gonna pay a dime for it, no paperwork.
I understand.
All right, have a good one, man.
Cool. Thanks for your time.
If that wasn't enough tension, then came the moment that could have changed everything. A painting attributed to Claude Monet arrived with documentation, claiming it had once been insured for $2.1 million and displayed in a Las Vegas museum.
What do we have here?
Well, it's a Claude Monet painting.
Is there just a weird chance that your name is Claude Monet, or is this actually the Claude Monet?
No, this is the actual guy.
If real, it would have been the biggest deal in the shop's history. Experts examined it closely. While it captured Monet's rural style, the surface told a different story. There was no cracking in the paint, no depth in the shadows. The verdict was devastating. It was painted in the style of Monet, but not by Monet himself. A dream dissolved under the weight of facts. Finally, the story ended where logic itself begins to bend.
It's in the style of Monet, but it's not absolutely not by the hand of Claude Monet.
Really?
Yeah.
How sure are you of this?
200% sure, because there is absolutely not one crack in the paint itself, switch.
A glitter-covered Salvador Dali painting surfaced, complete with melting clocks and surreal imagery.
Whatever it is big.
You tell me what it is.
Well, it appears to be a Salvador Dali. You didn't put the glitter on it, did you?
No.
Dali had used glitter before, but the artwork didn't appear in any official catalog. The expert explained Dali's most controversial habit, signing blank sheets of paper that galleries later used for reproductions. Even if the signature was genuine, the artwork wasn't original. The value capped at around $800. A surreal ending, fitting for a surreal artist. In the end, the gold and silver pawn shop stands as more than a place of business. It's a battlefield between belief and proof. These controversial items tested Rick Harrison and his team, exposing how thin the line truly is between treasure and tragedy. In a world flooded with replicas, forged signatures, and wishful thinking, authentication isn't just a skill, it's survival. Because in this business, hope doesn't determine value. Evidence does. If you enjoyed breaking down these high-risk moments and uncovering the truth behind some of the most controversial items ever brought into the shop, make sure you like this video. It really helps more fans of Pawn Stars find the story. Subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into rare collectibles, shocking fakes, and the deals that almost went wrong. And let us know in the comments, which item surprised you the most? And which one do you think Rick should have taken a chance on? We'll see you in the next story.